Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Learn Commerce with Namita. I'm Namita. In today's video, we are going to solve the example of valuation of share. This example we are going to solve by net asset method, yield based method and fair value method. All three methods we are going to solve in this example. So this is the example on the screen. Now many a times in examination they ask this type of question. So sometimes they ask that find the valuation of share by fair value method. Now remember one thing, fair value method, to find the fair value method you need to find net asset method and then you need to find the yield based method, because fair value method is the average of net asset and yield based method. Okay, so now this is the example on the screen. So on 31st December 2019, the balance sheet of Dolphin Limited, Delhi, disclosed the financial position as follow. So this is the balance sheet of Dolphin Limited as on 31st December 2019. So assets and liabilities are given. In assets, goodwill, business premises, machinery, furniture and fixture, trade debtors, then stock in trade, cash in hand and total of the asset is given. Then in liabilities, share capital is given. Issued and subscribed capital 40,000 equity shares of 10 each, fully paid. So number of equity share is 40,000 and each share is of 10 rupees. Then reserves, profit and loss 7%, debentures, trade creditors, bills receivable is given and total of liabilities. Now along with the balance sheet there are some additional information. So the additional information as on 31st December 2019 made available to you, which is as follow. So the additional information, point number 1 is assets were valued as follow. So assets which are given in the balance sheets are revalued. Okay. So business premises, business premise in balance sheet, the business premises is of 2,70,000, but the assets are valued again to 1,95,000. Then machinery 1,35,000, furnitures and fixtures 20,000, goodwill 50,000, stock in trade 1,05,000. Then these were the assets revalued. Okay. Now second point is the net profit for the last 3 years were as follow. Years are given 2017, 18, 19 and profit are given. So in 2017 the profit is 1,13,000. In 2018 the profit is 1,21,000. In 2019 the profit is 1,26,000. Then from this net profit 20%, okay, of which 20% were transferred to reserve. This portion being considered reasonable in the industry in which the company is engaged, and where a fair return means normal rate of return on investment, may be taken at 20%. So normal rate of return is how much? 20%. Now next, what is given? You are required to calculate the valuation of each equity share separately as per what? Net asset method, yield based method and third is fair value method. So separately we have to find the valuation of each shares by the three methods. First is net asset method, second is yield based method and fair value method. Okay, now I hope you have understood the question. Okay, so now let's start the solution. Now first method is what will solve the first valuation of share by net asset method. Okay, so I hope you have remembered the steps to calculate the valuation of shares by net asset method. Net asset method. There are total 3 steps. First is what? Find the total net asset. Okay, second step is that find the fund available for equity share, and third step is find the intrinsic value of each equity share. Okay, so now first we'll find what? The total net asset. So to find the total net asset, what we require all the total of assets, the assets which are revalued amount, and after taking the total asset less the liabilities, and then we will get what? Total net assets. Okay, so now for total assets, first we'll take what? Goodwill. Okay, first asset is what? Goodwill. Now the amount which is given in the balance sheet, will we take this amount? No, because here in additional information goodwill is revalued. Okay, so here in the balance sheet means book value is how much? The goodwill is 42,000, but this 42,000 is revalued to how much? 50,000. so the amount which is revalued, you will take that for the calculation of total net asset. So goodwill is how much? 50,000. First will be goodwill. Write the amount in inner column, 50,000. Next asset is business premises. Again business premises is again revalued. The amount of revalued is how much? 1,95,000. So next asset is business premises, 1,95,000. After business premises, next is machinery. Now book value of machinery is 2,20,000, but the amount which is revalued, machinery is again revalued to how much? 1,35,000. So take machinery 1,35,000. Machinery 1,35,000. After machinery, next is furniture and fixture. Again furnitures and fixture is revalued. The amount of revalued is 20,000. Furnitures. Okay, so furniture and fixture is 20,000 rupees. Next is trade debtors. Okay, trade debtors, how much is trade debtors? Trade debtors is not revalued, so take the value which is given in the balance sheet. So trade debtors all considered to be good. So trade debtors are 2,75,000. 2,75,000. Trade debtors 2,75,000. After trade debtors, next is stock in trade. Stock in trade, book value is 1,05,000. Even the value which is revalued, the asset, the trade debtors, the value is same, 1,05,000. Stock in trade 1,05,000. Next is cash in hand, 20,000. Cash in hand is 20,000. Cash in hand 20,000. Now add all these assets. Okay, add all these assets. The total of the asset will be 8 lakh rupees. How much? 8 lakh rupees. Okay, the total of the asset is 8 lakh rupees. Now from this assets you have to less what? Liabilities. The total liabilities. Total liabilities. Now for total liabilities you have to check the liabilities side in the balance sheet. Now what are the external liabilities in the balance sheet? Now reserve, profit and loss, share capital are not external liabilities. Okay, so now see, 7% debentures, trade creditors and bills payable are the outside liabilities. So you will reduce this liabilities from the total assets. So first is what? 7% debentures. How much is the debentures? 1 lakh rupees. So write first 7% debentures. 7% debentures 1 lakh rupees. Write the amount in the inner column, then we will add, and then finally we'll write the value in the outer column. So next is what? Trade creditors. How much is trade creditors? 90,000. Trade creditors 90,000. After trade creditors, next is bills payable. Bills payable is 50,000. Bills payable 50,000. Now add all these three. 1 lakh plus 90,000 plus 50,000. So the total will be 2,40,000. So this is the total of what? The liabilities. Okay, 2,40,000. Now 8 lakh minus 2,40,000. Remaining amount will be called as total net asset. So total will be 5,60,000. Okay, so how I got 5,60,000? The total of asset, that is 8 lakhs, and less total of liabilities. So total of liabilities 2,40,000. So is equals to 5,60,000. So 5,60,000 is what? Our total net asset. Okay, so step 1 we completed. Now step 2 is what? Computation of funds available for equity shareholders. So to find the funds available for equity shareholders, the formula is what? Total net asset minus preference share capital. So now how much we got total net asset? In step number 1 we got total net asset as 5,60,000. So 5,60,000 is our total net asset. Less what? Preference share capital. Now check the liability side in the balance sheet. Is there any preference share capital? No, only equity shares are given. So there is no preference share capital. So write nil. Okay. Now what is the remaining fund available for equity shareholders? 5,60,000. Okay, 5,60,000 is a fund available for equity shareholders. So step number 2 is completed. Now step number 3, computation of intrinsic value of each equity share. Okay, so to find this, formula is what? Fund available for equity shareholder upon number of equity shares. So fund available for equity share. Check the step number 2. How much is the fund available? 5,60,000. Okay, 5,60,000 is fund available for equity shareholders. Now divided by what? Divided by number of equity shares. So check the liability side. How much is equity shares? How many numbers of equity shares are there? 40,000 equity shares are there. Okay, 40,000 equity shares are there. 40,000 equity shares. 40,000 equity shares. So divide 5,60,000 by 40,000. So amount will be, we will get rupees 14. Okay, rupees 14. So this is what our intrinsic value. Okay, so we got this thing, valuation of each share by net asset method is how much? Rupees 14. So by net asset method we got the valuation of the share. Now by second method is what? Yield based method. Okay, for second method, yield based method. So total this thing, for yield based method, total how many steps are there? 4 steps are there, and this yield based method we are going to find on the basis of profit. Okay, on the basis of profit. You can find by the dividend method also, by dividend basis also answer will be same. So mention by which basis you are going to find the yield based method, so it will be easy for you to find. So yield based method we are going to solve by profit basis. So first step is what? Computation of average accepted future profit. For the formula is what? Average profit is equals to total profit divided by number of years. So in the question the net profit for the last 3 years is given. Okay, so profit is how much? 1,13,000, 1,21,000, 1,26,000. So this is a profit for each year, and number of year is how much? 3 years. So write down all the profit. 1,13,000 plus 1,21,000 plus 1,26,000. It is given in the question. You can check here. Okay. Now divided by what? Number of years. How many years profit is there? 3 years the profit is there. Then add all the profit of each year. Total will be 3,60,000. Total will be 3,60,000 divided by what? 3. So 3,60,000 divided by 3. The answer, the average profit will be rupees 1,20,000. Okay, 1,20,000. So average profit is 1,20,000. Now step number 2 is what? Computation of future maintainable profit. What is the formula? Average profit minus percentage transfer to reserve. Okay, so now in step 1 under yield based method, average profit we got. What is the average profit? 1,20,000. 1,20,000. Okay, now less what? Percentage transfer to reserve. Now read the question. See, out of the profit, okay, 20% is transferred to what? 20% is transferred to the reserve. Okay, so from this average profit the 20% is transferred. That means 20% of what? 20% of 1,20,000. Okay, 20% of what? 1,20,000. So the 1,20,000 minus 20% of 1,20,000 is how much? 24,000. Okay, 24,000. So 1,20,000 minus 24,000, the maintainable profit we will get 96,000. Okay, so maintainable profit we got as 96,000. Now step number 3. Step number 3 is what? Computation of capitalized value of maintainable profit. So capitalized value of maintainable profit formula is what? Future maintainable profit divided by normal rate of return multiply by 100. Now future maintainable profit, how much did we get? 96,000. So 96,000 is a future maintainable profit divided by what? Normal rate of return. Now normal rate of return is how much here in the question? Fair rate return on investment is how much? 20%. So 20% is a normal rate of return multiplied by 100. Multiplied by what? 100. So 96,000 divided by 20 multiplied by 100. So answer is 4,80,000. Okay, so capitalized value of profit is what? 4,80,000. So capitalized value of capitalized value of profit is 4,80,000. Now step number 4 is what? Computation of yield value of equity of each equity share on profit basis. So what is the formula? Capitalized value of profit divided by number of years. So how much capitalized value did we get? 4,80,000. Okay, divided by what? Number of equity shares. So how much is the equity shares? Check in the balance sheet. In the liabilities, see, equity shares are how much? 40,000 equity shares. Okay, 40,000 is the equity shares. So divided by 40,000. So 4,80,000 divided by 40,000. you will get the answer 12 rupees. Okay, so yield value of each equity share is how much? 12 rupees, right? So by yield based method, the valuation of share is how much? 12 rupees. Now next step is what? Last point, that find the valuation of share by fair value method. Now fair value method is what? Average of net asset and average of what? Yield based method. Okay, so step by net asset method we solved, yield based method also we solved. Now third is what? Fair value method. So valuation of each equity share as per fair value method. Now what is the formula of fair value method? Intrinsic value plus yield value divided by 2. Okay, so see, in the net asset method we have got intrinsic value. What is the value? 14 rupees. Okay, so write 14 plus, okay, plus yield value. How much did we get the yield value? Yield value is 12 rupees. Okay, plus 12. Now divided by what? 2. So 14 plus 12, 26 rupees. 26 divided by 2. Okay, so fair value, so 26 divided by 2, fair value will be how much? 13 rupees. Okay, so final answer is how much? 13 rupees. So by net asset method, the value of the share is 14 rupees. By yield based method, the value of the share is 12 rupees, and by fair value method, the value is 13 rupees. Okay, so in this way you have to find the valuation of share by each method, that is net asset method, yield based method and fair value method. Okay, and this is very important for your examination. Always in examination the fair value method is asked. That's why in fair value method, first you have to find the net asset, then second you have to find the yield, and then find the average of both the method. Okay, so hope you have understood today's session, today's lecture. Thank you very much. Please subscribe my YouTube channel, like and share the video, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the latest notification.